Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, the Brooke Ashley, and today we are here to discuss The Real Housewives of Miami, Season 4, Episodes 7 and 8. Yes, it's a double recap because I've been busy, as you guys can see, but I'm here. So, with all that being said, let's just jump right on into it because we don't have a minute to spare. We start off episode 7 with the continuation of the meetup with Nicole and her father. It's going left. Nicole is getting more and more frustrated with her dad. She's trying to explain to him that it wasn't about the material items that he could provide for her. It was about getting his time. She feels resentful that he wasn't there. She's also upset that he can't seem to grasp how hurt she is. They're going back and forth, and then she's like, you know what, Dad, I'm out of here. Shout out to everybody, I have fun, but I can't do this.
Oh! Shout out to everybody, I have fun.
I gotta be good.
She gets back in her car, she's crying, and she calls her mom up, and she's like, Mom, this entire meeting was a waste. He came to lunch, drunk as hell, and it just seems like he just doesn't get it. He doesn't want to get it. I'm over it. It's obvious that her dad is very immature, and it seems like he's still trying to recapture his youth since he probably feels like he missed out on so many years when he went to prison. So I just think that he just needs some help. A good therapy session would do him some good. But now we see all the ladies packing up for the Hamptons. Everybody's super excited. And Larsa has gotten a fabulous house in Montauk. So, child, all the ladies finally arrive in the fabulous Montauk. The house is gorgeous. It's 6,000 square feet, a private terrace, a pool. Everybody's super ecstatic, but there's one caveat. There aren't enough bedrooms for everybody to have their own room. So this part really annoyed me to no end. Adriana and Lisa tried it. Adriana hops into Larsa's bathtub and she's taking a bath. I would have kicked Adriana out that house. Don't you ever try something like that. I'm serious. I'm fun, but I can be a hard ass when it comes to social graces and etiquette. There are just some things that you do not do. Get out that lady's tub. So while Adriana's in Larsa's bathtub, mind you, the rest of the women are touring the home and they're figuring out the bedroom situation. So Larsa tells Lisa, so you're going to be sharing a room with Guerdy. Lisa is so angry. She's like, wait, no, I don't share rooms. I am a grown-ass woman. I'm not doing that. Y'all better find a bedroom for me because I am not sharing a bed with anybody. I'm sorry, but this is unacceptable. I'm like, Lisa, this is not your trip. It's not going to kill you to share a bedroom with somebody. It's not. You're in the Hamptons, put a smile on your face, and please cut the shit. I was just so irritated, y'all. I really was. Now, I'm a native New Yorker. I go to the Hamptons every summer. It is pretty damn hard to find a fabulous home to rent for a few days in peak season. I know that Larsa was scrambling to find a home for them on such short notice. Lisa was acting like such an ungrateful brat. I was really pissed. And when Lisa was like, you know what, I'll just stay at a hotel, I was like, well, good luck with that, babe, because all the hotels in the Hamptons in the summertime are booked. So you're going to be either sleeping outside or getting your behind back on a plane to Miami. If I were Larsa, I would have kicked Adriana and Lisa out. I'm not doing this with y'all. So Lisa continues to whine about not wanting to share a room, and Alexia is getting fed up. She's like, Lisa, that isn't an option right now. You're going to have to make peace with sharing a room. Get over it. So now Lisa gets upset with Alexia, and Alexia's like, no, girl, you're acting like a spoiled brat right now. We're all sucking it up. Who are you to think that you're above sharing a room? Just deal with it. Just shut up. Be quiet. Now, I was here for Alexia getting Lisa together because Lisa was trying it. And then when Lisa was trying to ask if she could stay in the master bedroom with Larsa, I was like, this is Larsa's trip. If anybody gets their own bedroom on a vacation, it is going to be the host of the trip, period. So Lisa and Alexia get into it. Lisa doesn't appreciate Alexia's tone. And then Nicole decides that she wants to be Lisa's defender. So she's like, Alexia, like, stop, please, like, just stop. And then Nicole says in her confessional that some of the women in this group like to act like they're the cool girls and that everybody else should be so happy to be friends with them. And she's obviously referring to Marysol and Alexia. So now Marysol jumps in to defend Alexia, and she's like, Nicole, what you're not gonna do is come for my best friend of 20 plus years. That's what you're not gonna do. So like, just keep it cute, because my sis is going through a lot, her family troubles, along with her wedding venue falling apart. Like, just leave her alone and just, mind your business. So the bedroom debacle somewhat gets settled, not really. Lisa is still in a bad mood. Alexia and Marysol are still annoyed by Lisa's actions, and they also feel a type of way towards Nicole. So Alexia says that she's gonna get Nicole later because she's annoyed that Nicole tried to jump in and defend Lisa. So now we see Marysol and Alexia go outside on the terrace, and they're just talking about what happened. And then Alexia brings up the recent turn of events in her family. She's telling Marysol all about what happened between Peter and Todd and how the conversation that they had was really tense, but now it's worked out and she will always fight to have a happy family. I said, Alexia, you need to fight to get your grown son some help. So now we see that it's nighttime and all the ladies are getting ready for dinner. And Alexia is downstairs FaceTiming Todd. So she's like, babe, Lisa was throwing a tantrum about the rooms because it's 5 bedrooms and 9 women. And she wanted her own room. So Todd's like, well, how could she think that? So while they're talking on FaceTime, the doorbell rings and it's Lisa's hairstylist. So Alexia's like, are you serious right now? Like, who does that? Lisa really flew out her hairstylist to the Hamptons. Like, she couldn't do her hair herself. So now Alexia is just even more annoyed. Like, she just does way too much. But it's one of those things where when you're already annoyed with somebody, then whatever they do going forward is going to piss you off. So Alexia was just in a mood and she wasn't feeling anything that Lisa did. So now we see all the ladies except for Lisa because she's still getting glammed up. Everybody is now downstairs and they're at the table. The chef has finished preparing that food. That food looked absolutely divine. Fresh lobster, mussels, clams.
I love it. I love it.
You already know that my mouth was not only watering, but I was already counting down the days to summer because there is nothing better than seafood in the Hamptons. One of my all-time favorite places to eat every time I'm there in Sag Harbor called the Dock House. Write this down. You will never find a more delicious lobster roll in your life. My mouth is literally watering, but I was drooling watching that fresh lobster. Oh, you know who also has really good food? Blue Mar in Southampton. Oh, they have really delicious food. I mean, like every restaurant there is yummy. You can't go wrong. I'm serious. You guys, you know what? That's a separate video. Maybe I'll do a vlog on that one day. Maybe in the summertime. I might just do that in the summertime. But every restaurant pretty much is just chef's kiss. So while everybody's enjoying their delicious lobster, here comes Miss Marysol trying to be super messy out of nowhere. She's like, let's play a game called Who Trusts Who the Least. So Kiki's like, girl, what? Like, that sounds like a very messy game. Let me just say this quickly. I never liked Marysol. I always found her to be very desperate, a big wannabe at her big age, and she acts like she sweats Alexia. I don't look at their friendship as an even friendship. I look at their friendship as she views Alexia like Alexia's up here and she's like her little flunky. That's what their friendship gives me. Like Marysol gives me very much self-deprecating. Her self-esteem isn't that high. She's always wanted to be a cool girl. Like, I don't know. There's something about Marysol does not sit right with me. Her energy just seems off. Like, she just seems like she's following behind Alexia. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too deep into it, but I just think that Marysol is always trying to create a moment. So now Larsa says, well, Marysol, you started off because you're the one who brought this game up, so you tell us who you don't trust. So now Marysol says, I trust Nicole the least. Nicole is pretty blindsided and surprised. She's like, really? Like, why me? So Marysol says, because you act like you just love Lisa and Larsa to death, but you really don't, and you talk a lot of stuff about them behind their backs. So now Nicole is like, I haven't said anything. Like, what are you talking about? Can you please bring out some receipts? Like, I'm confused. So Marysol says, well, I know firsthand that you and your boyfriend, Anthony, talk a lot about Lenny and Lisa's house. So Nicole says, the only thing I ever said about their house was that their floor is slippery. That's it. Then Marysol adds that Nicole said that Lisa's house is also tacky. Now, I believe that because that was actually my first thought when I saw Lisa and Lenny's house. I was like, it's gorgeous on the outside, but the furnishings on the inside, it's not my taste. I don't know. It's a lot going on. So I could definitely see them both saying that Lisa and Lenny are very tacky. Now Marysol says that Nicole has also called Larsa a hooker. And Nicole says, excuse me? Like, no, I haven't. The only thing I said was, I was kind of confused about why she's doing OnlyFans. So Marysol says, girl, that's BS because everybody who knows me knows that I do not make things up. Like, I do not lie. And I know for a fact that you said that you didn't even want to be associated with Larsa. So Larsa decides that she wants to choose violence. And she's like, okay, Nicole, if this is the game that you want to play, then let's do it. She says, Nicole, you know I know people who know you, right? So Nicole's like, yeah, like, what's your point? Larsa continues and says, and you know that I know that you used to be married to a school teacher, right? And he was broke. And it's really funny because while you were still married to your broke ex-husband, you met Anthony. And the minute that Anthony made a move, you left your ex-husband in the wind because you were ready to have the good life. But I don't judge you for that, now do I? Baby, the whole table is silent. So Nicole is in shock right now. And she's like, well, no, because me and my ex-husband were separated in the process of getting a divorce when I met Anthony. So it's not like I was cheating on him or I just, ran off. And Larsa's like, girl, we're not even going to do that. You saw an opportunity and you took it. So Nicole is visibly hurt. She's taken aback by this whole entire turn of events. And she's like, look, I own up to whatever I said about you. I apologize for offending you. We all make judgments about people, whether we admit it or not. Like, okay, like I'm owning up to it. I'm sorry. Like, enough. So Larsa is determined to really embarrass Nicole. And she's like, why didn't you like us? Like, what is it about us that you were just judging? Like, I don't get it. Because you had your kid out of wedlock and I don't judge you because I would never do something like that. Like, I'm traditional. But again, I don't judge you for how you live your life. So now Julia's like, did Larsa really just say that? Because remember that Julia also wasn't married when she had her children. So she's slightly offended. Now let me just pause for a minute and say that I blamed Marysol for this entire incident at the table. This was very cruel and very evil of her to do. But like I said, I've never liked Marysol. I think that she's a desperate wannabe and a phony. For you to start an argument like this on a vacation, that was just beyond messy. And the way that everybody piled on Nicole, I don't even like Nicole like that. But I felt very sorry for her during this scene. Larsa, in my opinion, wanted a moment because it wasn't that deep for her to go so low and bring up Nicole having her kid out of wedlock. And Larsa, not too much, sis, because you were the same woman dating Future and other men while you were still married to Scottie Pippen. And I know that you guys were living separate lives already, but you were still married. So that would make you an adulterer. So I would keep it real cute. And if Nicole were smart, she would have said, Marysol, if I said these things about Lisa and Larsa, provide the receipts. Who told you that I said this? Let's name some names. Do I think that Nicole is a bit boring? Yes. Do I think that she's a bit sneaky? Yes. But what happened at that dinner table was uncalled for, and it was a bit cowardly, in my opinion, when they all jumped on her one by one. Because then you have Alexia trying to give Nicole the business. I was like, why don't y'all pull her to the side and have a one-on-one conversation instead of trying to embarrass her in front of an audience? So now Alexia says that Nicole is a big gossip, and now Larsa jumps back in the conversation and she's like, I'm gonna tell you straight like this, watch your effing mouth. Let me tell you something right now, I will be damned if Larsa Pippen were to ever raise her voice or curse at me. I would have turned that table upside down, all that lobster would have been on the ground. Don't you ever speak to me like that. I just felt like it was very cowardly to go for the new girl in the group who doesn't have many allies or many friends. Like, I can't respect that. If you're really tough, if you're really about that life, then go for the real bad bitch in the group. So, child, the dinner is over, and then we see that Nicole is still really pissed off, and rightfully so. And honestly, if I were Nicole, I would have packed my bags and gotten on the next flight to Miami. Now we move on to episode 8. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Episode 8 did not give. It was very boring. I'm like, y'all are in the fabulous Hamptons. You guys don't seem to be having a good time. You guys aren't doing a whole lot. Why don't we see you guys at the clubs? Like, I don't know. I just feel like these are a bunch of ladies. But anyhow, it's the next morning, and Nicole is still visibly shaken up about what took place at dinner. She says that she's still upset and she actually does not want to be there. And again, I would have been on the first flight back to Miami. I'm not going to stay where I'm not wanted. I'm not going to have the hostess cursing me out, calling me everything but a child of God. No, thank you. But we see Nicole, Kiki, and Larsa in the kitchen, and Nicole's like, hey, Larsa, I just want to address last night. Like, I just don't appreciate how I was talked to, and I feel like it's being spun the wrong way about what I said, because I wasn't saying anything bad about you. I was just saying, you know, that I had a few judgments about you doing OnlyFans. So Larsa says, look, Marysol is a lot of things, but she is not a liar. And when I get mad, I'm a pit bull. I'm like, but girl, where was that energy for the Kardashians when they kicked you out of their friend group? So please don't try to act all rough and tough with Nicole. Stop. Larsa just has a very nasty spirit, and she operates like she's still in high school. And I thought it was very evil of Larsa to not apologize when she said that Nicole and her boyfriend had their child out of wedlock. And when Larsa said, well, you know, I love all the out of wedlock babies, it was like, just apologize. But I already know that Larsa is probably going to get torn up for that comment at the reunion. So Larsa and Nicole hug it out, and Nicole apologizes for the umpteenth time. And like I said, I would not have apologized for a damn thing. You know who's also getting on my nerves? Julia. I feel like she's way too passive and is getting annoying, because when she was in the kitchen while they were talking, she says, you know, I just felt like Larsa's out of wedlock comment was wrong because I had my kids out of wedlock. And it was like, well, Julia, if you're so offended, then address it. So they're making French toast, and mind you, there was also bagels and croissants and lox. I love lox. Oh my gosh. Y'all, what is my problem? There is nothing like a good meal. And I'm not even a breakfast girl like that, but if I am gonna eat breakfast, I do love a bagel. I like home fries. I like lox. And I also like a good French toast as well, especially French toast on some challah bread. Oh, heaven. They finish breakfast. Now everybody's getting changed to do boxing. So it's just Larsa and Marysol in the kitchen. And so Larsa brings up her brief chat with Nicole. So Marysol says, look, one thing I'm not is a liar, okay? I know for a fact that she's been calling you a hooker to everybody that we know. And then Marysol throws Nicole's boyfriend, Anthony, under the bus, and she says that he's very chatty too. So now it's time for their boxing lesson. The instructor's there, and we see Adriana flirting with him because he likes the fact that she's Brazilian. So now we see Adriana with a stack of hundreds in her hand, and she's telling the instructor that she wants to place a bet on which lady is the best boxer. Did y'all catch how the instructor said that he thought that Kiki was the best boxer? But it was the way he said it, because when Adriana said, well, which lady do you think is the best? And he says black. And then the camera pans directly to Kiki. And I felt some way about that. Like, excuse me? Why couldn't you just say the tall, beautiful woman with the orange workout pants and white crop top? For you to say black, like, excuse me? I don't know. That just rubbed me the wrong way. Let me know if you guys caught that. But I was like, is that what we're doing? Their boxing lesson is over. And now we see all the women dressed up to go shopping. They're at this really nice jewelry store, and we find out that Larsa is very friendly with the owners of the store, and they're interested in Larsa's jewelry line being sold in their store. So while everybody's shopping, Larsa's daughter Sophia arrives, and Larsa is just so excited to see her. She's like, oh my gosh, I just love my daughter. Like, she's my mini-me. I just like love her to pieces. And then we see that she gets a call from one of her lawyers, and I think Scotty has done something. He's refusing to sign the divorce papers, and Larsa's super stressed out, and she has to have the mic taken off of her because this conversation between her and her lawyer cannot be recorded. I was just like, Scotty, if you don't sign the damn papers, y'all have not been together for a number of years. Just let this lady go. It's obvious that you don't want to be married to her anymore. You want to be a free man. Just grant Larsa her freedom. Their shopping trip is over, and now we go on to the next scene with all the ladies out at dinner. Guerdy is finally in the Hamptons, and she's super excited to see all the ladies. So they're catching Guerdy up on what's been going on. They're like, girl, it's a good thing you came today and you weren't here yesterday because we had a lot of drama. Guerdy can already tell that something happened because everybody's vibe at the table is just like super awkward, super tense. Nobody seems to be in good spirits. So Alexia is telling Guerdy all about the fight and how Nicole tried to come in between her and Marysol's friendship, and that could have caused a fight between them. And Nicole is sitting there like, why do y'all have to drag my name in this? Like, can we have a nice night? She was just so irritated because it was just like, look, we already had an awful dinner the night before. Let's not have a round two. So it's about to be another argument again. And then Julia's like, look, let's just have a good time. And I have an announcement to make. When we were shopping earlier today, something just clicked. So Julia gets on bended knee and she's like, Adriana, can I ask you something? The whole table is like, girl, what is going on? Like, Julia knows she's married, right? Like, why is she on bended knee? Child, Julia went out and bought matching friendship rings for her and Adriana. So she's putting the ring on Adriana's wedding finger. And it was like, girl, like, what? Like I said, Julia is annoying me. I thought she was cool earlier on, but I'm finding her antics to be very desperate because she doesn't really have a storyline. You know what also kills me about Julia? Julia never looks glam. Her makeup always looks smudged. It looks like she did it herself on a 100-degree day. Her eyeliner is always running. Her hair is always frizzy. I'm like, girl, Can you go to the salon? How come everybody else's hair is laid, everybody's faces are beat, but you, on the other hand, look like you only had 15 minutes to get ready? Like, I don't know. Julia was just irking me so bad. That outfit was a no. And then you have her whole bra showing in the back. It was like, you're supposed to be a rich woman, and this is how you leave your house? A mess. Julia, if you do come back for season 5, I'm gonna need you to get it together with the glam. But Adriana and Julia share a big hug, and they're like, we're best friends forever. And I was like, this is so goofy. Like, you did not have to do all that to give her this friendship ring. I don't know. I'm just really getting annoyed with Adriana and Julia with this fake flirtation as a storyline. Like, y'all are doing the absolute most. At the end of the day, Julia is a married woman. So y'all both need to stop. So now the dinner's over. They go back to the house, and now they're all taking shots. And Lars is like, you know what, y'all? I'm a pass. I'm going to bed because we have a very early day tomorrow morning, and I'm going to see y'all in the AM. And that's where the episode ends. Guys, I'm going to be truthful. I'm ready for this season to come to a close. I know that they've already filmed the reunion, so I guess we only have a few more episodes to go. But yeah, I mean, these 2 episodes were just okay. I'm just not liking the dynamics in this group. Larsa and Marysol are really getting on my last good nerve. But y'all, that was my recap for both of the episodes. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you all for watching. And as always, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all later. Bye.